Hey guys, welcome back to my podcast. On this episode, we're going to take a bit of a look into the rise of plant-based diets in Australia, with why they've become so popular recently and what this means for us. Stay tuned, I hope you enjoy the show. Climate change is one of the biggest issues facing the planet today. In fact, in the recent youth survey conducted by Triple J Hack, 43% of young people said that climate change was the biggest issue affecting their generation. Over the past century, the Earth has warmed nearly 1 degree Celsius, and scientists warn that if more extensive action isn't taken soon, the effects of climate change on the planet will be irreversible. Citizens globally are rallying for action on this crisis, and in Australia, campaigning for the government to take more substantial action on behalf of the country to work towards improving the situation. In the meantime, however, people are taking their own constructive steps to reduce their impact. Increasing numbers of Australians are actively selecting more plant-based diets as a way of reducing their environmental footprint. A study conducted by Oxford University in 2018 found that consuming a vegan diet was the single biggest way to reduce an individual's environmental impact on Earth. So, what is a vegan or plant-based diet? For those who don't know, a plant-based diet is one which is focused around food derived from plant-based sources. There are many different interpretations of a plant-based diet. For example, pescatarians who exclude meat from their diet but still consume fish, vegetarians who exclude meat completely but still include animal products such as dairy and eggs, and vegans who exclude all animal-derived products. 2019 research conducted by Roy Morgan found that 2.5 million Australians record as having exclusively vegetarian or vegan diets, with this figure having risen by 47% since 2011. The numbers taking up this lifestyle are generally younger people who have concerns over how sustainable and ethical farming and food production is in Australia, as well as concerns regarding animal mistreatment. Now, you may not think that meat and animal products have that much effect on the environment. However, agriculture is one of Australia's largest industries and therefore has a great impact on the greenhouse gas and water footprints of Australia. In 2013, agriculture was responsible for 16% of our total greenhouse gas emissions. Additionally, 52% of total national methane emissions came from livestock and its manure, and 62% of total national nitrous oxide emissions was generated by agricultural soils. The global warming potential of methane is 25 times that of carbon dioxide, and for nitrous oxide it is 298 times that. Furthermore, 67% of water in Australia is used for agriculture, with it taking 20 times more water to produce a kilo of beef than it does rice, fruit, or vegetables. Also, it takes on average 800 litres of water to produce just 1 litre of dairy milk. How crazy is that? So, how is someone's plant-based lifestyle aiding the environment? A plant-based diet uses substantially less energy than an animal-derived one through the stages of production, packaging, transporting, and consumption. The 2018 Oxford study also found that a vegan world would produce 49% less food-based greenhouse gas emissions, 50% less acidification on land, 49% less eutrophication of water, and would use 19% less water to meet our food energy demands. The UN's Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change found that more people could be fed using less land if meat consumption is reduced, as land previously used for agricultural development could be more effectively used to store the carbon emitted by humans. And how has Australia reacted to the push for plant-based? In Australia, more and more cafes and restaurants are opting to include a greater range of vegetarian and vegan alternatives on their menus. Chain establishments such as Hungry Jack's, Grilled and Schnitz all have plant-based vegan meal options available to consumers, indicating the ever-growing market for these types of meals. Additionally, restaurants like Lord of the Fries are growing increasingly popular for their low-key yet entirely vegan menu. Unfortunately, there is still a stigma attached to the term vegan, with people thinking of militant animal activism rather than just environmentally friendly changes. Organisations have attempted to address this by opting to label their products as plant-based to attract consumers who may otherwise be less open to reducing their consumption of meat and animal products. Before we finish today, we need to consider what we can do. Australians are generally encouraged to reduce their meat intake where possible and consider including a meat-free day to their weekly consumption habits. We have to remind ourselves that adopting a plant-based diet doesn't mean excluding meat and other animal products entirely. It's about reducing our consumption in order to have a lesser impact on the planet. That's all from me for now. We'll see you next time.